The shorter days and reduced sunlight seems to contribute to lower serotonin levels, contributing to residents being sad, which is an acronym for seasonal affective disorder. I just learned that today. So joining us right here on The Splash to give us more information from a professional perspective, we have motivational speaker from the Positive Shift, Stacie Rene. Thank you for being here.
It is my pleasure, always a pleasure, and I enjoy helping all the local community. And we need a redirection sometimes for our mindset.
No.
Reminders are always helpful. Thanks for having
Absolutely.
me.
So this is why we have you here to talk about this. I don't think too many people put notice on this, but how do you think the changing seasons, especially right here in Michigan, affect going from the winter to the fall summer to the winter to the fall, or summer, fall, winter, excuse me. How does that affect the mental and emotional well-being, especially in older adults in West Bloomfield?
Well, first of all, thanks for having me here. And, there's a lot of weight to the seasons. Michigan is known for their four seasons, but it also has a lot to do with your mental health, the status and how you feel, and just your overall well being. And, with less sunlight coming in, we're getting to be having busy schedules. Kids are going back to school. And it's a common experience for us to dip in the mood and keep our motivation strong. And there are definitely several ways to keep proactive and energized during this time. And like you said about sad is a type of depression, and it occurs at the same time each year during the winter time. Um, and so what we can do is our internal clock is telling us, I have to go to bed, I have to go to sleep.
Hmm.
And, we just have to kind of think about different ways that we can be more proactive in helping us with our mood effect. I did kind of get a couple of ideas, and it's to get
Please.
refocused and energy,
Hmm.
keep us going, right? I mean, have you experienced this before?
Yes, I think we all have essentially, and that's the thing too. With especially being here in Michigan, not only does the winter time, keep us indoors, but like we're away from people a lot more. Some of us are now, especially in the aging population, you become empty nesters. Like you said, your kids go to school, so you're not only dealing with isolation from people, but isolation from the community, but from people in general. So yeah, I definitely experienced it myself, just being a Michigander.
Right. And I think sometimes being aware of the common effects and the warning signs that would trigger us as we transition into the season. So,
Hmm.
some of the common signs are feeling more fatigued than usual,
Oh.
difficulty concentrating, a loss of interest in activities that you usually would enjoy, and challenges in your sleep pattern,
Ugh.
or even your appetite. And before you know it, you're withdrawing from social events, you're feeling down, and these are all early signs of SAD. So, knowing what the signs are is the number one key.
Absolutely, absolutely, and I'm glad you explained that too. As you were talking about it, I'm like, I definitely feel that. Like, and you know what's so crazy? Even during the summer, I feel like I'm not the only person who felt fatigue often. Want to just kind of stay to myself at some times. So even during the summer times, I feel like this could actually happen. But during the fall and the winter times, when people aren't even outside, then it's more of like a hibernation thing, especially right here in our greater West Bloomfield area. But just to reset the show, join us right here on The Splash, motivational speaker from the Positive Shift, Stacie Rene. Join us just talking about the seasonal affective disorder, also known as SAD, that can happen when we transition from summer to fall into the winter months also. How important would you say physical activity and maintaining a social routine is for combating these seasonal depressions?
It's a game changer to have a plan in place. And here are a few tips that can actually help you. And one is increase exposure to natural light. Sometimes I think we get so in tune to just being in our house, or just going from the house to the car to your activity,
Hmm.
but getting some exposure to natural outside, going outside, going for a short walk, putting your feet on the ground. And okay, it's a little cold, it's a little wet. That's okay. But feeling the connection with the earth, as crazy as that sounds, really does
Yes.
have a significant
Yes.
game changer to us. And I know that you and I spoke about that
Hmm.
before.
Hmm.
It's important to do that. The other thing is It's so easy to fall out of a routine. So maintaining a routine, sticking to the regular schedule for sleep, meals, exercise can regulate your mood. Staying connected socially, that's
Mm-hmm.
really important as well. Don't isolate yourself. It's so easy to do, like, "Oh, I don't want to go out. My couch feels really good." So make sure that you make plans with friends to keep your social spirits up. Something else that is really easy to fall out of, like more than anything in the world, and that's exercise. So,
Mm-hmm.
exercising regularly, the physical activity really helps your mood and it boosts it immensely. And people think that they have to do it for an hour, 45 minutes. Well, let me tell you, my friends, you don't. And if you can just do something and get yourself motivated and have a workout accountability person, and
Mm.
that is huge, and I've recently been doing that, and that is been a game changer for me in the last 2 weeks because I have been affected recently by this fad,
Right.
and I'm not allowing it to take me over anymore.
There you
And
go.
motivation and accountability is key. And then the last thing that I'd kind of like to add in is, consider light therapy. If you can't get out, you can't do these things, they have resources. They have things that you can do. So light therapy is a box. It mimics the natural sunlight, and it's also really known to help with the sad situation. And I actually have one. And if it wasn't in my room, I would run and get it. But it's a light that is about like this big. Sometimes if you get up in the morning and you just take 5 minutes to yourself and just sit there and
Yes.
have that light come into you, that is a
Mm.
game changer. And only you can make the change, only you can be the change. That's
No,
important to remember.
100%. No, it's a whole, like you said, like it's a routine. It's making sure you stay social, stay connected, having accountability buddy, as some people say. All of those
Mhm.
things kind of play a role in keeping that motivation. Because, like you said, whether we believe it or not, nature plays a huge role in our mood, the weather and
Sure does.
everything like that. And we know in Michigan, it could get the seasons can get depressing, but we have to overcome that and combat that. So with us right here live on the Splash, motivational speaker from the Positive Shift, Stacie Rene, talking about combating being sad, seasonal affective disorder, transitioning from summer to fall to winter. Now we just talked about identifying stages or symptoms of going through this disorder, and then also solutions. So what role can community support and family connections play in helping older adults, especially right here in West Bloomfield, stay positive and motivated during the seasonal changes? And how can they foster these relationships in practical ways?
Well, practical steps and encouragement are what we need to identify as well. So, here are some great tips. The key is to prioritize self care
Mm-hmm.
and to set boundaries for yourself. That is so easy to forget. And don't overcommit to yourself. I do that all the time. But let me tell you, no is a simple sentence. No, no explanation, no reason. You're taking care of yourself, and there are 24 hours in a day, and you
Mm.
deserve to have at least a half an hour to yourself. Whether you sit, you meditate, you have that light therapy in front, you go put your feet on the ground.
Yeah.
Boundaries are super important. Make time to relax, use practice mindfulness and focus on what brings you joy rather than getting caught up in
Yes.
all the busyness. So important. We do get caught, and you know what? You are the owner of your calendar, so you have the right to say no.
Mm.
And take small steps into, maybe you work out or just do some exercises. A great thing to do is just move your arm up and down and then take your thumb and like move it back and forth. You'd be amazed how that will help your energy and just moving your body. It's simple things. Get up, jump around your house.
Yeah.
Let's just do these things
Yeah.
and don't hesitate. I'm going to tell you, do not hesitate to ask because somebody else, one of your other friends or colleagues is feeling the same thing that you are. And if you don't ask, you could be not doing enough for yourself. So ask somebody, make them your accountability partner.
Yeah.
Um, and one final thought for those that may be struggling to be motivated, remember the feelings of sad are temporary. Everything that
Mm.
you're going through in life is temporary.
Temporary.
It's
Yeah.
how you handle the outcome of it. Small daily actions like getting outside, again, moving your body, staying connected, and others, that really makes the biggest impact. because
I'm
you know,
sorry to
my
cut you
friend,
off. No,
get
no,
motivated. No, no,
please.
no, you're good, my friend.
Yeah. And you brought up a great point, and because of that, I just thought of something else. We have a
Mhm.
lot of activity going on right here in our local community. West Bloomfield Parks put on a lot of different events, and they have opportunities for people to participate. So can you just talk about very briefly before we let you go, how important it is to actually be involved in some of these activities that we have for the greater West Bloomfield community?
You know, getting out sometimes does more for you than you realize.
Mm-hmm.
Getting out, and you may feel a little insecure at first. If you're
Ooh.
out, look at somebody that is maybe just kind of standing there. They're trying to get out. Go socialize with them. I mean, the West Bloomfield has so many events, so many things. I was at a ribbon cutting last night, and I have to tell you, I felt so energized by the time that I got home. I felt like my body was buzzing
There you
because
go.
I was around positive energy people. Like I was adapting. I was like, wow, this is great. And I went up to people I didn't know. I'm like, hi, I'm Stacie.
Mm-hmm.
And, it really does make a big difference from going out, being part of the community, being with one versus sitting on your couch. Be you.
Yes.
And real quick, I do have 7 tips just to avoid seasonal depression.
Please.
So if I could run those off real quick.
Come on.
Okay, stay active. Regular physical activity is and to boost your mood and energy level. Number
Mm-hmm.
2 is getting outside. Again, refreshers, refresh, fresh air, sunlight. Even on cloudy days, it can still help reduce SAD. 3, plan ahead. Break down holiday tasks because the holidays are just coming. I think there's like 98 days left
Mm-hmm.
till
Mm-hmm.
Christmas. So think about that. You don't want to get overwhelmed. 4, social support. Make time for friends and family, even if it's virtual. Number 5, don't forget the light therapy. Consider light therapy, even if it's yucky outside. Number 6, focus on nutrition. Eat a balanced, rich diet. That is huge. If you're going to consume a lot of sugars, you're really going to have the sugar crash and you're really not going to feel good about yourself. So, healthy fruits, vegetables, of course, vitamin D is key essential. And the last one is mindfulness and gratefulness. Practice mindfulness, meditation, telling yourself that you love yourself. And I know that that's really hard and weird to do, but your body listens to yourself. So why not tell yourself, I
Mm-hmm.
love you?
I
And it
love you.
takes you a lot. So hopefully those little last 7 tips will help you get through the day and make yourself a better you.
Yes, yes, and we appreciate that. Perfect place to land the plane. Thank you for that motivation and that energy and information. Once again, motivational speaker from the Positive Shift, Stacie Rene. We appreciate you again.
Thank you.